Welcome to the Explainer. So, tonight, we're going to take a look at a series of really calming affirmations and turn them into something, well, something practical, a guide for how you can find a little bit of that tranquility before you fall asleep.
All right, so let's just start with something I think we've all felt, right? Does the day's noise follow you right to your pillow? It's that feeling, you know the one. You just can't switch off. The day is over, but your brain? Oh, it's just getting started with the highlight reel of worries and what-ifs.
And that brings us to our first real step, letting go of the day. This isn't just about, passively hoping it goes away. No, this is an active step. It's about consciously drawing a line in the sand. You're basically telling yourself, okay, that was today. It's over, and it belongs in the past.
And you can really see this contrast here. Think about it. On one side, you've got all the day's noise, the judgments from others, or even worse, from yourself. The pressure of expectations, and that endless, maddening loop of what if. But then, look at what the night is inviting you to. It's offering stillness. It's offering release. It's offering you permission to just rest.
And this quote just hits it home, doesn't it? What has passed and exhausted you does not deserve to accompany you to your pillow. The key takeaway here is that you have to grant yourself that permission. You have to decide to leave those burdens behind. It's not about pretending they didn't happen. It's just about acknowledging they've had their screen time for the day. They belong to yesterday.
Okay, so once we've left the day behind, where do we go next? Well, we turn inward. And this next part, I think, is maybe the most powerful theme we're going to talk about. It's all about that conversation you have with yourself. It's about this kind of revolutionary act of just being kind to yourself. I mean, think about it. We live in this world that's always demanding we prove our worth, right? Achieve more, do more, be more. But this idea reminds us that sometimes your greatest achievement for the day is just holding it together. Just maintaining your calm, treating people with kindness, and, this is the big one, forgiving yourself when you mess up.
And look, this isn't just some vague philosophical idea. It's an actual practice, a step-by-step process you can follow. First, just acknowledge your effort. You tried. That's huge. Second, make a conscious choice to release the regret. Let it go. Third, embrace the fact that you're not perfect, and nobody is. And finally, and this is so important, change the way you talk to yourself. Just speak with a little more kindness.
And this quote, this just says it all. You have been trying, and this effort was enough. It totally reframes success, doesn't it? Your value isn't tied to some perfect, flawless outcome. It's in the effort. The simple fact that you showed up and tried, that was enough.
All right, so if we start being kinder to ourselves, what else changes? Well, that leads us right into our next section. Let's dig into how this whole journey can completely redefine what we think it means to be strong.
You know, society often feeds us this very specific, and let's be honest, exhausting idea of what strength is. It's all about constant control, never failing, always asserting dominance. It's loud, it's aggressive, and it leaves no room for being human.
But what we're looking at here is a completely different kind of strength, a powerful alternative. This true strength isn't found in control, but in patience. It's not about being the loudest person in the room. It's about quiet resilience. And it's definitely not about never failing. It's about how you get back up after you fall.
And this quote is just so powerful. It says the strong person isn't the one who never falls. It's the one who falls, weeps, and that part is important, and then cleans the dust off their heart and gets back up without losing their kindness. It frames vulnerability not as a weakness, but as a crucial part of what makes you truly strong.
Okay, this next idea is probably the deepest part of our journey tonight. It's about understanding the wisdom of surrender. And I know, that word can sound weak. But I promise you, in this context, surrender is the exact opposite of giving up.
See, we're being asked to let go of that frantic, desperate search for all the answers right now. The idea is that some problems, well, you can't just force a solution. They're solved with patience, not by insisting on an answer. The answers will arrive when it's their time, not when we're chasing them down.
This really encourages a huge shift in perspective, doesn't it? It's about moving from that anxious striving, that feeling that you have to control everything, to a place of calm trust. It's about believing that maybe, just maybe, a higher wisdom is at play, arranging things for a good that you can't even see yet.
And that's the thing, right? You don't actually need all the answers tonight. You don't need the 10-year plan figured out before you go to sleep. What you really need is just to take a quiet breath and find that inner voice that says, you know what? I'm going to be okay. So here's the bottom line on this. Surrender is not weakness. It's actually one of the highest forms of strength. It's an active, courageous choice to trust the journey, even when you have absolutely no idea where you're going.
And that brings us to our final stop on this journey tonight. We've let go of the day, we've practiced self-forgiveness, we've redefined strength, we've embraced surrender, and now all of that leads us here, to a place of peace that comes from acceptance.
And this is such a critical point. Peace doesn't suddenly arrive when life becomes perfect. I mean, when does that ever happen, right? No, peace comes when you finally make peace with life despite its imperfections. It's available right now, in the middle of everything.
And this acceptance, it's built on a few really simple but totally profound shifts in how we think. It's about finally stopping the comparison game, understanding that everyone's on their own timeline, taking a second to appreciate the small, beautiful moments, forgiving yourself for not being perfect, and really realizing that your worth has nothing to do with your achievements. This just says it perfectly. Happiness is not in the solutions, but in acceptance. Peace isn't some destination you reach after you've solved all your problems. It's a way of being. It's a choice you can make right now, right in the middle of the mess.
So to wrap all this up, here are a few gentle, super practical things you can do tonight, right now, as you're getting ready to sleep. Think of just one small thing that went well today. Silently thank your heart for getting you through it all. Forgive yourself for whatever you couldn't get done. And then, just whisper to yourself, I deserve peace.
And that leaves us with one last, very personal question for you to carry into the quiet of the night. Just one thing. What is the one worry, the one thought that you can choose to release just for tonight?